Hello? Is anybody out there? I'm trapped in this cave. Hello?
Hey, the sound
Is anybody out?
sound settings are correct without me putting them in for once. That's new. How's everybody? How we doing? So, quick little update for anybody who doesn't know what the hell is going on. We had a tournament yesterday for Warhammer 2. We got it mostly finished. It was more popular than we thought it would be. It had 28 players in it, and it took longer than we thought because it had more people than we thought it would have. But by the time we got to the finals, I had to go. Grace and I were going to run some errands, and I was running out of time. And then Raizel and Alfredino, it was midnight or later for them. So we all three of us involved in the finals agreed, let's just take a fucking breather. So now we're back today with a pretty quick stream. It would be best of 3, but since it is its own individual stream, I asked the players if they were fine with best of 5. And they said sure. So we upgraded to a best of 5, so at least it's not Yeah, sorry. I got distracted by a message, but it's best of 5, so the stream isn't super short, but it will be a pretty brisk stream. We're going to get straight through it. Raizel and Alfredino, maximum of 5 games. This is what I got for you. This is the thing. The prize, the grand prize that we did a second stream for is just changing my personal Discord picture. It's some serious fucking business. But I don't know. The stream yesterday was a banger. We had so many good games. Everything was great. I don't remember a lot of blowouts. I remember mostly close games. I was exhausted last night after that, which is strange. People have been shit-talking Warhammer 3 a bunch, but when a game is close in Warhammer 3, it's a little less epic, it feels, than Warhammer 2, because units just crumble away. And in Warhammer 2, like, you have Torox and Grom, who are both nearly unbreakable and hang around till last second, and I don't know, man. It's nuts. It's nuts. So that's what we have. Okay. I'm trying to find the lobby. Raizel and Alfredino. I think Raizel was going to host. Okay, he sent me a code. Let's go. I don't see a lobby. Did you lie to me, Raizel? Raizel sent me a code, but I can't find it for the moment, so I will check in with chat for just a second. Boop, 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 boop. Everyone's here. Forgot I had this tab open and it startled you. Hey, World Beater, Sojournus, Cyrus, Samarik, and Tien. Samarik, you're at work? You're at work? I'm sorry. Type into Raizel. Chasing ground units and shattering enemies on the charge are so much more satisfying than enemies just flopping over from crumbling. That's pretty funny. It's true, but also funny. Alfredino looks epic on this screen blocker. Yeah, I don't actually know what faction Alfredino mains, but I know... Well, what I assume from my conversations is he would enjoy the regal French knight, so I grabbed that picture from my repertoire of art that I own and can't be sued for. And then Raizel's a Beastmen player, and I know Beastmen, Centaurs, you know, their Centaurs use throwing axes, not bows and arrows, but alright, I only have so much art that I have commissioned, alright? Give me a break. Pantalonades here. You work for the money, so you better treat me right? Hell yeah, dude. I just got back from work myself. It was weird. Change the score names? I will when I know who's on what side. I got this. There's a song that never ends, just goes round and around. My friends started singing it, not knowing it would always continue singing it forever, just because that song and that. Oh no. Oh no, it's a song that never ends. How's it going, Krell Metal? Loopy, trickling in. Raizel says he has lobby. I can't see it. Thankfully, Alfredino is apparently not answering for just a moment, so we can figure this out. I know, see. Let me try something. I wonder if these lobbies are just being dumb. Local network, online games? No. Term code, I can try that again. With the code, I can join his game as a player, but not as a spectator. It refuses to let me see it. Alright, hang on. Raizel is my friend. So Total Warhammer 2 is just refusing to show me this game. But don't worry, you guys. When they updated it to take out chat, they gave us the join with code, so it's super easy to find a game. Look at the scoreboard. Yeah. I know the scoreboard. We're not in the game yet. Sorry, the blocker was up because I wasn't sure if they were already in a game and had their armies built. I didn't want to load it and reveal somebody's army. But I'm just trying to find a fucking lobby right now. So we're working on it. Alfredino is there. Apparently. I am the only one who's not allowed to show up. No! No! I am cursed. Alright. Alright, sorry. Finals, try 2. I'll just see if I can host it. Won't let me find Raizel's lobby. Okay, let's see how that works. Hopefully it's not laggy. The reason Raizel was originally hosting is they're both EU and I'm NA, so I was hoping it wouldn't lag for them if they hosted. Because as a spectator, it usually doesn't matter for me if I'm lagging too much, you know what I mean? But if Steam is literally going to stop me from finding their lobby unless I host, I'll frickin' host the game. So we have Raizel in first, so he's on the left. Thankfully, I don't have to change any of the clan tags, because typing those last 3 letters would just end me. ODM. Armed. Alfredino. Oh god. Another problem with me hosting is I have to remember to change the map, which I recently have been quite unable of remembering to do. I don't know why I'm so bad at it. Alright, what's the map? Gorgazon. I can handle that. Maps up. Raizel's first. Ready. Okay, I'm back. How's everybody? Best 5 at this rate. We're lucky to get Human Boy in the lobby. True. Alfredino just started Warhammer 3. I think he's a bit confused. It's fair. It's true. I still owe Alfredino $25 for the 2v2 win, so if he wins, I get to change the Discord picture. I'm not playing. Sorry, I'm not playing. I like that, Cuden. Free Man Special Collection is where he got the Centaur from. Yes. Yes. Okay, I'm mostly caught up. Tretch is here. Hey, Samric. Painthlin. Zep. This chat is 50% ODM today? Yeah. I mean, makes sense. Only donkey mouths? That is fair. Actually, do we know what ODM stands for, Loopy? Or is it just kind of a fun... Is it a fun acronym just for fun? Like somebody out there said, my favorite 3 letters are O, D, and M in that order. Because VM stands for Via Militare or something. I probably butchered that pronunciation, but I know that's the correct organization of letters. I know RTK is Roundtable Knights. BBB is... Like, this was a joke, but it worked and no one corrected it. So as far as I know, it's Big Balls Boys. Order of the Daliamane. Odorous Dweeb Meeps. Neckbet. Neckbet, my Discord picture will change yet again after this best of 5, but I hope you lived your glory day in the sun of me being a weird orc with a car. I don't understand the reference of the picture you gave me. Alright. We have Greenskins versus Wood Elves, game 1 it looks like. I remember when Drycha first came out, this was a pretty common matchup for a while. And then it kind of died off, and I didn't see a lot of it at the end of Warhammer 2. Wood Elves are normally held in reserve for fending off either Dark Elves or Beastmen. So seeing them this early is pretty interesting. But this used to be Wood Elf favored. It's a close matchup, right? It's a close matchup, so anybody can win it. I know chat is immediately going to be like, Wood Elf favored? You've never tried this thing. But in general... Drycha was pretty strong to deal with, and the Sisters of Twilight were a nasty mix in there, where the Sisters aren't unbeatable for the Greenskins. They have Skirmish Cav, they have stuff to deal with it, but you need to be ready for that possibility, and then you could just take Drycha, nice, cheap spellcaster. A lot of infantry spam, a lot of Eternal Guards with shields, some archers, etc., and you're pretty happy. Order de Malte, Order de Malta. Shameful Heresy from Pantalonade. No. Pantalonade's ODM. Alright, you can't say heresy. The heresy's coming from inside the house. What does DPD stand for? Death Before Dishonor. I paid of the competition, the pick will remain. Raizel and Alfredino are fighting for literally nothing. They're both just going to tell me to keep Neckbet's picture. It's super greenskin favored? Was there a change, Rusty? I'm asking Rusty because, Loopy, it's not disrespect you. It's Rusty and I trained with the same guy. I learned how to play this matchup from Vicious Satsuma, and he was having a really hard time with the Drycha, like, Dryad and Eternal Guard box with some archers and some Glade Riders with spears. And what he ended up doing was, like, triple gold or triple silver chevroned goblins. And then a shit ton of Spider Rider archers, some chariots, and he really tried to just swarm them and run them over. But I remember the last I talked to him about it, he did not like this matchup at all. From the greenskin side. Fake news, it's death by ducks. Orc boys outtrade dryads, it does not seem like a good matchup. They could outtrade dryads, but the thing is that, you know, they're going to get shot the whole time. It's the archers you have to worry about, not really the front line. The front line just keeps the archers going. And then Glade Riders with spears are pretty big. Would Durthu plus trees be good versus greenskins? Good. I wonder if that was before the chariot rework, Rusty. Because I could see the Orc War Chariots being good, really fucking with that build that Satsuma didn't like fighting against. Because it was like all infantry with a couple Glade Riders with spears, but nothing in that army could stop the Orc War Chariots, so maybe that changed it? I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen this matchup played, though, like I said. It was spammed a lot when Drycha first came out, and then it kind of fell off. You pretty much have to take Grom, though. It's hard not to take Grom the Punch in this matchup. just because he has regen and not a lot of greenskin lords do. And Waystalkers exist. Sisters of Twilight exist, so I can almost guarantee you Alfredino took Grom. Alright, chat seems to be on the side that it's greenskin favored, so if Alfredino loses this, guess he's just a bad player. Kappa. Hazel's upset. She's over there pouting. Pouting. What you been up to, Rusty? You been kind of laying low or whatever? Haven't seen you in the RTK chat much recently. I don't hang out too much, but I pop in here and there time to time. Matthew Coffins, how's everyone been? Matthew Coffin, do you think Northco's gonna go 4-0 in this tournament? 5-0? 4-0? I know they won every game on stream. I just don't remember if that was 4 or 5. Hey, it's fucking Durthu! Let's go, dude! Okay, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah, let's talk about Durthu's team. We have Big Daddy Durthu, and he has the Manticore summon. He's the only Wood Elf caster that can actually summon a real Manticore. The rest summon Eagles, and he has the Sword of Daith. Those are only 2 spells. This is from Raizel, I should say. We have Dryads and Eternal Guards of Spears, so I was not wrong about that. And then we do have Glade Guard of Starfire Shafts. We have the Hawkeyes of Jakira, so 1 Waywatcher. And then we have the Wild Hunters of Kurnos and a bunch of Glade Riders of Spears. I was pretty close on the build. Glade Riders with Spears, an Eternal Guard and Dryad box surrounding some archers, and a Tree Lord. I just had the wrong Tree Lord and the Wild Hunters of Kurnos. I was pretty close. I'm great. Just work really manic at the moment, but I'll get back to it soon. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry work's been so busy. For the greenskins, we have 2 goblins, 5 orc boys. So I believe it was Tian that was saying orc boys out trade dryads, and Alfredino agrees. We have 2 stone trolls, river troll hag, 4 spider rider archers, 4 spider rider melee variant. We have Grom the Punch, and the 8 Picloons. I have actually seen Durthu beat the crap out of Grom the Punch before. It was in one of my games where I took something ill-advised due to chat, but it ended up being a close game because Durthu solo carried against the entire enemy army. He did end up losing eventually. But, yeah, we'll have to see. The Hawkeyes of Jakira are an interesting pick. If they can get on top of a Stone Troll or shoot the River Troll Hag, maybe not Grom, his model's a little small, but if they can hit these Stone Trolls, they'll do pretty good work. They have some missile resist, but only 25%. Their 70 armor won't help them against the Hawkeyes of Jakira. Plus their leadership discouragement bonus that you can see here. Really will fuck with the Stone Trolls and get a couple free routes out of them. I'm Sloan, best of luck. Thanks, I'm Sloan. Suspicious, I think I know who you might be, but I don't know for sure. On a serious note, thanks so much for the content, whether it's Warhammer 2 or 3. It's been an absolute blast.
Thanks, buddy. Make me feel all warm inside. Now I don't know what to say, so I'm going to awkwardly transition to the game. Oh boy, look, spiders!
They dodged a thing. Good for them. You didn't play in the tournament, you dishonored me. Greenskins are going to advance slowly. Don't really want to take a lot of shots, especially now that they've noticed the Hawkeyes of Jakira are here. And you can notice Raizel does not have Fire at Will on, because there are plenty of things within the range and the Hawkeyes aren't firing. That's, I mean, Wood Elves will eventually come to Warhammer 3, so it'll matter then, but Waywatchers are extremely limited by their ammunition. They almost never get caught. When they do, they have decent melee stats, so most games they'll run out of ammunition before anything else. Kind of surprised he's not popping shots at the Stone Trolls, but I guess as Alfredino is setting up, the Stone Trolls are going to regen a little bit, so maybe just doesn't see the worth there. Takes a free little shot at the Spider Riders, and can you see maybe why I was talking about them so much? Takes a quarter of the health off that unit in one volley. Very nice. Raizel, realizing his opponent's kind of fucking around and trying to get a full surround on him, decides just to advance his archers and force the issue. He is now going to start shooting and getting free damage on the Orc Boys. Orc Boys have bronze shields, but they only have, 30 armor, so not much armor mitigation there for the Starfire Shafts. And this free damage and poking does force the Greenskins to hurry it up, and they start to come forward. Another volley from the Hawkeyes of Jakira. That one is a little bit avoided. And I think the Skirmish Cav will be happy with that. Glade Riders with Spears are advancing to fight the Greenskin Horde that is not turning around, and it looks like they're just going to take the fight. Glade Riders with Spears will outtrade the Spider Riders pretty significantly on the charge. In prolonged combat, not so much, but on the charge is 22 versus 40. Pretty nice stuff for them. Ground the Paunch is getting in and dirty, and he is currently surrounded by cavalry, so the Hawkeyes don't have a great shot on him, even if they wanted to. They'd probably get slightly obstructed. And in the backfield, Alfredino is really swarming over, trying to get around all the spearmen. He's doing a good job, except for the Wild Hunters of Kurnos are back here, and they catch some spiders for dinner. Raizel has a really good handle on all three of his archers' units, still full health while this chaos reigns. Durthu throws down a Sword of Death, catching a big old blob of Alfredino's units and lowering all of their armor down, and he is beelining it. It looks like... No, he is skipping Grom the Paunch. He's just trying to help out with routing over here. A Manticore Summon comes in as well. It's going to look for somewhere to go, maybe going to hunt down Grom the Paunch itself, but the terror is needed in other places. There's some Stone Trolls that are very far away from Grom the Paunch that could be routed off the map without his ITP aura. Archers and the Hawkeyes are all focusing on these Stone Trolls. It does look like they're trying to nuke them down and get them out of here. But this does leave a little hole that Alfredino can take some Skirmish Cav and regular Cav, run them around the front line engagement, and wrap up the Hawkeyes. Blade Guard taking a little bit of damage, but the Hawkeyes are not. They're very, very spread out, and they have great melee stats I mentioned earlier. Even the Glade Guard don't have terrible melee stats, and that allows the Wild Hunters of Kurnos to sweep in and push them off. And I think the Greenskins are in a really tough spot this early into the game. Durthu is right next to Grom the Paunch. If you could turn around and start dueling him, that would be an excellent use of his time. Manticore's here as well. Wood Elves are ahead on the balance of power, and I don't see it getting any better for the Greenskins, as their stopping power has largely been destroyed. You see Stone Trolls running over there, Stone Trolls running over here, just rallying now, but if they come back, they will be immediately slaughtered. Durthu is giving it to Grom the Paunch, and I just don't see what's going to kill everything. I don't see what's left. Hawkeyes are still very healthy. They have 1/3 of their ammunition left. These Glade Guard Starfire Shafts are doing fine. Yeah, you've compromised one of the 3 archer units, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. Very good Wood Elf game. Sorry, I was reading chat for a second. Second Manticore Summon is coming out of Durthu. It'll probably dive straight onto Grom the Paunch, judging by how the first one did. And the Wild Hunters of Kurnos were fighting Grom for a little bit, and decided it was not going their way, decided instead their time is better spent protecting their archers. We'll peel off the Forest Goblin Spider Riders, and these guys have pretty bad melee stats without Wa active, though they are super cheap, so it's like, you know, wow, a 400 gold unit doesn't have incredible stats? What bullshit, but still. Hawkeyes can easily fend them off with 30, 36 stats. Grom the River Troll Hag are still really trying to chase these archers down. Durthu is slow. That is a big downside to him, so he's having a hard time keeping up with his little ant legs. Chasing down Swift Grom. Manticore has no issue, though. It's gonna body him. The Hawkeyes are even lending some support. Their Discourage aura that they give off with their arrows lowers his leadership enough that he's going to rout. Plus, you know, shooting him in the face also has a tendency to make him want to leave. And if Grom dies or shatters, edge of the map's pretty far away, so I don't think he's going to run off the edge of the map. But if he dies or shatters or anything, this game is 100% over. Greenskins just don't have the leadership. But even if they have the leadership, what here can kill Durthu? They have no archers. Skirmish Cav doesn't do that much damage to him. All their infantry is extremely wounded. It would be Stone Trolls. Yeah, okay. They still have some healthy-ish 11 model Stone Trolls. If they get Grom's ITP aura while fighting Durthu, they won't rout, and they could beat him to death like you saw them beat my Gorch to death the other day. But Grom is shattered. Oh, that is bad. That's bad for the Greenskins. He's probably not going to die. It looks like he is going to get out of range and be fine, so they won't take the massive leadership penalty, but they will take a big one. And without his ITP aura, the Stone Trolls will have a hard time staying and fighting against Durthu, and I think that is GG. Sword of Death is like Final Trans. Roughly, yeah, it does less damage, but it also reduces armor by 30. A lot of hours in AO. Chad Greenskins don't stop. Victor, I agree. Something doesn't feel exactly the same. We've talked about it a lot on stream. There's a lot of different reasons. The patch 1.2 update helped, but it wasn't quite the same. Also, the diversity of factions that 2s brings is pretty nice. It's an overcast Lock of Doom. The maps are very weird. It's true. Game 3 is a playable state for the most part. Problem is lack of factions and maps. Big agree. again, we're not talking about specifically what's happening in the game because I just don't think there's a lot of hope left. River Troll Hag was routed off, and now it is literally these Stone Trolls are keeping the balance of power alive, and Durthu can hold up the rest of this. Grimgore actually counters the old Durthu. I would hope he would. He literally is holding an axe. I would hope he can chop that that tree down. You don't like red on red? Yeah. Like stone trolls. Krell, that's good. Yeah, Manticore is Durthu's like, I can't chase you, but my fucking Manticore can. And Wood Elves won. Wood Elves won. This matchup is officially Wood Elf favored. It's a hard counter to Greenskins. They can't win, and everybody was wrong besides me. I'm perfect. Based off of one game. And it was Durthu, not Drycha. Grom and River Troll Hag did fine. Goblins actually traded up. Orc Boys did very well. Also, the Cavalry struggled to get its value back, and the Stone Trolls got bodied. Okay, so the front line was really good. It's just the back line, the threats didn't have a great day. That was pretty good. You'll love to see it. Cool. I will give Raizel their point. Oh, we lost him. Well, Raizel thought it was a best of one, so he's out of here. I'm sure nothing else happened. Alright, map's been changed. Okay. But why are the ogres not a rush faction? I don't know. Because they're technically a rush faction, but they only rush with double Stonehorn, and it's very boring and not very ogre-y. I thought the same Grimgore improves everything. Just look at Humans Discord. It really does. It really does. UI's a lot better in many ways. Cards are nice. You can see the durations of buffs and easier. It's time for a Skaven mirror. Maybe. Probably just have to get used to the AI. I like the improvements. There are a lot of improvements. A lot of little quality of life things. I love that you could change the banners in Warhammer 3. Like, you have no idea how much I love that shit. It's gonna be so cool with Skaven. My immediate thought, I was about to say I'm just gonna be running Clan Eshin all the time, but now I'm in trouble because black and green are both my favorite colors. Probably lean on green, so then I maybe want to be Pestilence. But Pestilence in the lore is my least favorite clan. So I'm like, well, do I want the green or do I want to rep the bad clan? Okay, well, fine. Eshin is safe with black, and I do like Deathmaster Snitch. That's a pretty good thing, but I don't really do the Eshin playstyle, so that feels wrong. I could go with Clan Moors, my boy Queek. Red isn't my favorite color, but it's fine, and like, I don't know, so I might end up being Moors, but also if Moors is the default again, a bunch of people are going to be like, look at this fucking casual, not even changing the banner. It's like, no, I might just prefer this banner. I don't know. Fortress of Dawn High Elf banner? Maybe. Warhammer 3 is like a car with no cup. Wait, a car with cup holders and no steering wheel. I don't agree that it's that bad, but I do like that analogy. That's very funny. Just run with Clan Rictus. Hell yeah. Oh, I love this Skaven. With the dirt color. Imagine not using the Chad Clan Vulcan banner. I wonder how many banners they're going to include. because they have a lot of them in the campaign. There's so many Skaven clans with all their different color schemes and stuff, so I'm really curious how hard they're gonna go on that. Wouldn't it be funny if, like, the Game 1 and Game 2 factions came in with, like, 10 banners apiece, and the Game 3 factions, like, Nurgle has, what, 4? And they're all like, do you want green or yellow? Hi, Hazel Basil. Hi. Hi. Are you upset? Are you like, Dad, you're not supposed to stream today. You're supposed to hang out with me. You're supposed to hang out with me. Oh, no. I will, after this best of 5. It's just one best of 5. It's not a 4-hour stream like yesterday, Pupper. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. It looks like we have Dark Elves versus Lizardmen, which I really liked that matchup at the end of Warhammer 2. I thought it was fun. Both sides had a lot to do in it. I tried. Ice Power had a really good build for it. That was like 2 or 3 Cold One Dread Knights, and then some Dark Riders, a Bolt Thrower or 2, some Dark Shards. Like, but I couldn't play it right. It didn't really sit well with me. But I like acknowledged it was a very good build, right? Because it worked for him. It worked for a lot of players. He gave it 2. It was good. It just like something about how it was flowing wasn't working with me. A build I ended up liking a lot was Malice Darkblade. Shut up! Malice Darkblade. Sorceress of Shadows on a Cold One, because then that gives her armor piercing. And then you give her Enfeebling Foe and Pit of Shades. You take 2 Cold One Knights, not Cold One Dread Knights, and then 4 Dark Riders, and then that's like this Cav core that you have running around I found very fun. And then you had like 4 or 5 Bleak Swords or Dread Spears. I forget how much money I had at that point, and then 1 Bolt Thrower. Wait, 2 Bolt Throwers. And the whole plan was you set up this front line. You set up this front line of Dread Spears. You have your Bolt Throwers poking at them, and then you run a heavy Cav flank on one side. And if the Lizardmen don't have Cav, you cycle charge and run all over them, and you cackle away your day. And if they do have Cav, you can Pit of Shades a Cav fight. You can Enfeebling Foe another one. Malice has really incredible AoE debuffs. And my whole plan was like, win the Cav fight, if there is one, and then steamroll their army. Or, if there is no Cav, steamroll their army. And it was very fun. I won about half the time, so it wasn't like the best build, but I enjoyed it a lot. And that counts for something. And the Malice thing was because of the debuffs he brought for the Cav fight, is why I enjoyed him so much. Because he has like, I forget the exact stats, it's been a long time, but he has something like a negative 16 leadership, a minus 24 melee defense AoE? Or something like that. And it was just wild for Cav engagements. It was pretty crazy. But I had a lot of streams where I was screaming at him because he couldn't kill a Slann. Like, not Mazdamundi on Zlok, like a Slann on the ground. Because if it walked away from him, not every time, but about 1/2 to maybe 2/3 of his attack animations missed if you walked away from him at all. So this Slann is like on its chair, just like hovering away from Malice Darkblade, and he's like, miss. And as he's in his Tazarkand form, you know, he's constantly taking like a Spirit Leech's worth of damage. So he's getting chunked away, and he's missing this frog on a chair as it's like moving away at 20 movement speed. And I'm like, hit him! You need to fucking kill that guy! Oh god, I love Malice. I hate Malice, but I love Malice. Hello, doggo. Zinch has the worst banners. Oh, yeah, they're all blue or purple. I agree, Zep. What did pros say about this matchup? Ice Power is, like, nearly undefeated on his build. So I think it's pretty Dark Elf favored if you know what you're doing. But I've only talked to the Dark Elf specialist about this, so of course he's going to say it's favored. Dread Knights were strong at the end of 2. Yeah, they're good. You kind of suffer against Stalkers. How's that, Zypher? Not that I disagree, I'm just curious of your reasoning. Malice Dorkblade. If Lizards brought their own Cav Force, it gets pretty rough too. It could. I thought it was fun though. If Norse gets picked one more time, I'll start playing in tournaments and play proper factions. Tretch, is that a meme or do you mean that? Just curious. Hover chair overpowered, please nerf. Awesome matchup talk. Will hype this now.
Treat.
Yeah, my build was not optimal. It was fun, though. I enjoyed it thoroughly. So, we are set up. We have Krokar! Hey, let's go! Alright, Krokar with Hand of the Gods on his, is it his horned one or his cold one? Probably his horned one. I think that's the horned one mount. Yeah, it is. Horned one's just better for only 100 more gold. We have a bunch of red crested skinks. Alfredino really seems to like them. He was fighting random nicks as the lizardman. He brought a shit ton of red crested skinks. We have some feral cold ones to offer some support. More feral cold ones. We have double Bastildon with Solar Engine and a Skink Priest of Beasts on his Stegodon. He used a lot of Skink Chief on a Stegodon with Dactyr in the 2v2. So, apparently likes that mount option. A lot of skinks. Very skink heavy. The Lizardmen remind me of the Ogres a little bit, in that when I played Lizardmen in campaign, I was like, the dinosaurs and Saurus are badass. I like the Saurus a lot. The Saurus are pretty neat. And then the competitive scene is just like, how many skinks can I fit into this army? And the same with the Ogres. Like, the Ogres are badass. I like the Ogres a lot. And then every Ogre competitive army is like, how many Noblars can I fit into this army? It's not one-to-one, but I did find it funny. On the other side, we have Marathi, double Scourge Runner Chariot. We have triple Repeater Crossbow Cav. Yes, Dark Riders. Just trying to figure out. We have 4 Dark Riders with shields, 1 Knights the Ebon Claw, Dread Knights, 5 Chaff, 2 Spears. Wait, 5 Chaff is 4 Bleak Swords and 1 Dread Spear. Interesting. And that is a small Dark Elf force, but the Dark Elves are rather expensive. Ice Power, you were summoned. I was talking mad shit about you. I said your Dark Elf build sucks versus Lizardman, and it's trash, and I made a better one. No one tell him the truth. Let him go figure it out. Anyway. Double Solar, awesome, sweet missile monsters. Pretty good. Stalkers are very good at deleting chaff, and it becomes hard to protect all the Dark Swords and bolts. Yeah, but Ice Power is better with Cav than I was, so I'd be curious to watch him play it versus Stalkers. Like me, I couldn't do it. He gave me the build, and like I watched him play it like 3 or 4 times and win all 3 or 4 games, and then I played it, and it was like I just couldn't wrap my head around how I was supposed to play it correctly. I think, like, I'm not, it's well known I'm not a great Cav player, and Cav is the key to that matchup in general. So the Dark Elves are piling in. Their front line's going to meet the enemy front line. Now, the enemy front line is mostly skinks, so they're going to lose that, but with Solar Engine support and some Javelins, they're going to do totally fine. Knights of the Ebon Claw are about to plow in, and these guys are world beaters versus the Lizardmen. They can do so much damage, and for largely little recourse, but Feral Cold ones have really good arm piercing for only 450 gold, and maybe if the Knights of the Ebon Claw are left in melee combat for a little bit too long, they could get punished. Repeater Crossbow Cav and the Scourge Runners are doing their best to get in the damage, but it looks like this is an all-out blitz by the Dark Elves, which is maybe a little at odds with their goal of, you know, all this ranged Cav needs time to shoot and get its value back, and they're just plowing straight in. You can see already 1 Bleak Sword is dead and running. The other Dark Elf Chaff is so far doing okay. Actually, Bastildon with Solar Engine gets caught out by Marathi, and it's getting knocked down. Balance of Power goes heavily into Lizardman favor, which is surprising because it felt like Dark Elves just got a couple good picks. But the Balance of Power keeps going more and more against them. And Manticore Summon is going to land behind Marathi and give her a talking to. Gets a nice hit on her, and she is squishy in the health department. She has really good melee stats. And that's how she's usually considered tanky, plus healing. But if a Manticore actually gets a few shots on her, she is going to be in big trouble. Scourge Runner Chariots running rampant through the skink lines. There's not a lot of Cav here. We can see the Cav was all focused over on that side, fighting the Knights of the Ebon Claw, and they are getting good value over here, but wherever they're not, Raizel is using his Scourge Runner Chariots to great effect against the low-mass skinks who can't stop them from running shop all over them. Marathi's going to throw out a quick debuff, trying to really help out this Cav fight. The Knights of the Ebon Claw got trashed in, but there are still some Dark Riders here doing their very best. Red Crested Skinks running around. Lizardman still ahead on the Balance of Power. I don't know if I agree with that all in all, because the Lizardman force is looking rather tattered, and the Dark Elves still have a good amount to them. Scourge Drone Chariots are almost out of ammo, but these bolt throwers could fall back. Sorry, repeater crossbows could fall back and kite for the rest of the game. Another solar engine gets a shot off quick at Marathi before it routes off, and the other solar engine is just about to rout. Gets cold-blooded to keep it in the fight, and it needed that as it takes a massive burst of damage from these repeater crossbow cav. Maybe the reason the Dark Elves are so far behind is I don't see two other the repeater crossbows. I think they got kind of annihilated. There's this one here that is significantly wounded, so I guess the balance of power is affecting them, but the Lizardman's stopping power has been largely taken care of. It's down to the Skink Chief, the Skink Priest of Beasts to do most of the work. I think he has a second Manticore summon still with him, but I don't know. That's a lot of Dark Elves. And now the balance of power starts to catch up with where I've been for a while. It's like, oh, wait, the Dark Elves might be winning. Alright. Skink Priest gonna charge in quick. Try and deal with some Dread Spears. But there's also 3 Skirmish Cav that want to have a word with him with armor-piercing missiles. Krokgar is a good duelist, but he can't clear out an entire army by himself. And let's watch. Oof. About half health off that guy in one volley. Quick Manticore summon. That'll keep the Lizardmen in the balance of power-wise, but they're about to lose their Skink Chief. Marathi's even considering diving in. I wouldn't. Feels risky, but she's considering it. Manticore's up in the sky. I don't know where it's going to go. It looks like it's just going to fight some Dark Riders and try to peel them off the Skink Chief, who even with Cold Blood, it goes down to negative 50 leadership, and yeah, he is definitely breaking. Marathi gets a rear charge on him. They're really just trying to finish him off. Quick Soul Stealer pop in as well, and it is down to just Krokgar and a summoned Manticore versus the world. Don't see them winning that one. Kind of shocked the balance of power hasn't called this quite yet. For the Dark Elves, a lot of repeater crossbows left. A good amount of chaff. Yeah, they're fine. They win. Playing Chaos, you only ask how many chosen you can take. Nice Hand of the Gods from Krokgar. Brings Marathi's heal cap into sight, but I don't think it's going to do enough. He absolutely slams down a Scourge Runner Chariot. It's stressful, yeah. The Dreads are used defensively. It's tough. More Dark Shards. Might play some Warhammer 2 again after my exams. Warhammer 3 is dead for you. Oh, so Domination Mode isn't perfect, is it, Ice Power? Domination Mode didn't solve all of our problems, did it? Well, I knew better. I knew that Domination Mode was gonna suck. And I definitely don't think it's a fine game mode, and that Warhammer 3 right now is just lacking in factions overall. No, Domination sucks, sir. And you owe me an apology. No. Warhammer 3 needs more factions. I don't think anybody could have predicted that Immortal Empires would come out 7 months after the game released, which is like, it doesn't seem like that long of a time, but it really is. Because Mortal Empires Warhammer 2 came out like a month after. Yeah. So. It's tough. It's tough. Yeah, Ice Power, I'm just pulling your leg. As is my birthright. Really good value from the Repeater Crossbow Cav. Scourge Runner Chariots also did good. Knights of the Ebon Claw unfortunately got a little shut down, but the Dark Riders of Shields did their job nicely. Bleak Swords traded up into all these skinks, which is good. Dread Spears did well. And Marathi, shockingly low value for Marathi. Normally she's kind of one of the solo carry type characters where she'll get a ton of value. Krokgar did nice work. Skink Chief struggled a little bit. His Manticore summons were good. Excuse me. Red Crested Skinks didn't have a lot of armor to pierce, unfortunately. Javelins did fine. Feral Cold Ones did fine. The Solar Bastillodons, they were used in melee to break off the front line, but then it looks like they got trapped up there and just couldn't sit back and shoot. So, a tough go of it. Tough go of it. What's the next map? Challenge, don't do this. It's Valley of Thieves. I just remember that one. Challenge gave me the infinite loading screen of Doom, but it's Valley of Thieves. Okay, blocker is up. Raizel is up 2-0. And let's go. Immortal Empire's beta. Balance power forgetting the big dinos are going to die to pew pew. Yeah. Red Core Skinks seem very squishy. They are, and thank God they are, because they're a pretty good unit. Otherwise. Mortal Empire beta. Yeah, but I'll take a beta over no content. Gonna play a full Chaos build on quick battles with Foot Archaeon and 1 Foot Exalted Hero. And a bunch of Chosen. If you're really hubby, name all the Norska units. I can't name all the Norska units. So, actually, maybe I can. Hold on. Hold on. I did this for Skaven, but Skaven is significantly more impressive because their roster is real. Alright. Marauder Chieftain. Surtha Ek, Kappa. Wolfric the Wanderer, Throg. And then their heroes are Shaman of Fire, Shadows, and Metal. They don't have a Deathcaster? There's no way that's right. They don't have a Deathcaster? Whatever, I'm sticking with it. Fire, Shadows, and Metal. They have a Famir... The Famir casters of Shadows and Fire. I know that one. And they have the Skinwolf Werekin hero. And that's about it. Infantry, Marauder, Berserker, Marauder Spearman, Marauder Champion, Great Weapons. Marauders with Great Weapons? Do they have that, or does only Chaos have that? Whatever. Marauder Jabs with the throwing axes. I think that's all their infantry. Dogs, Norscan Ice Dogs, the ROR Dogs. There's the ROR Marauders. I almost forgot about them. Then there's Marauder Horsemen Throwing Axes, Marauder Horse Masters. Ice Wolf Chariot, and then the regular Chariot. Skinwolves, Armored Skinwolves, the Armored Skinwolf ROR. Famir Warriors with Great Weapons. Trolls, Norscan Ice Trolls. Feral Mammoths, War Shrine Mammoths, and then there's the War Shrine Mammoth ROR. Giant, there's the Norscan Giant. Frostworm. I think that's all of them. They'll try to revive the game with IE, but I feel like it'd be better just to release the factions once they got them. Zypher, what do you mean? Release the factions once they got them? Does that mean earlier or later? I guess I'm confused. Is it the beta or not? He beat Dactyr in semi? Yeah. Raizel's good. I don't think anybody said Raizel's bad. Falling enough, Three Kingdoms is my understanding is the best Total War according to Steam reviews. Is it? I heard people weren't people bombing the shit out of Three Kingdoms or something? Wasn't there a story about that where they were trying to review bomb it for various reasons? Maybe the exception of Shogun 2. Didn't mention Brutes of the Hound, fake fan. Damn it. Damn it, I did forget the Berserkers ROR. Shit! And the Miststalkers ROR. Wow, I am terrible. Yeah, you're right. And Zypher, I agree. Finish the factions as soon as they are finished. Because you just need content right now. Warhammer 3, we talked about this when the roadmap first came out, but it's they're in a tough position and I get it. I'm not making excuses for them, but I get it, where it's well, do you release broken factions and people go, haha, you release broken factions, you're dumb? Or do you fix the game first, then release the factions? And they chose fix the game first and then release the factions. But a part of me is wondering if you're just polishing a turd to the point that by the time you release something that isn't a turd, no one's going to care. No one's going to want to play. And I don't think that's true. I think the fans will always come back for Mortal Empires because it's just too hype. But it is a valid concern. but like, how much can you polish the mechanics of the Korn Zinch matchup before you realize that the Korn Zinch matchup just isn't fun, you know? Or like Nurgle Korn before you realize Nurgle Korn just isn't fun. On and on and on, with like realizing that almost half or more of your matchups in Warhammer 3 are just in principle not fun, and it's not a mechanics thing. So the fact you have to fix bugs and stuff that definitely exist, and they're doing their best about fixing all this shit, it's like, yeah, but even if it works, there's a good number of people that aren't going to enjoy this game. So you might want to prioritize just getting content they'll enjoy and fixing it later. But that'd be my view on it. Or don't release a broken-ass game with unfun factions and a campaign mechanic that a lot of people disagree with. What do I know? Frostworm, goddammit. I thought I said the Frostworm. Last time I checked, it was more than average. Well, good. It was review bombed because they stopped supporting it. That was it. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you. Yeah. It was against CA, not the game. I heard people really liked Three Kingdoms. I never actually tried it. I was super deep in Warhammer 2 at that time. You forgot Manticores. I did forget Manticores. Wow. It's pretty clear that I'm a shit Norskin main. Alright. The problem fixes current game. Game 2 factions will be broken, have to be fixed again. Yeah. Alright. I'll catch up with chat later, but we actually have to talk about this matchup. So, Alfredino, on back against the wall, picks vampire counts into lizardmen, somehow gets trapped into this matchup, which, while divisive, is usually considered to be a very, very bad matchup for the vampire counts. I personally have been winning it a lot recently. Recently being at the end of Warhammer 2, I was winning it a lot. I forget what my build is. I have it saved, but I forget what my build is. This does look familiar, though. I know it's a lot of Air Force and cycle charging. So we have a Necromancer with the Forbidden Rod and the AoE healing spells. We have some Skeleton Warriors, a shit ton of zombies. We had the Dire Pack. I swear I saw something else on the ground, but it's gone forever now. We have a Blood Dragon Vampire Lord. Yes! Does she have Purple Sun? That's it! Yes! Ah, you beat the Temple Guard box with the Purple Sun of Xerxes. It's so good. It's so good, and Alfredino brought it, so the Temple Guard box won't mean shit to him. Now, his opponent doesn't have a Temple Guard box, but... Shut up. We have some Vargeists. I don't know about those, but alright. And Fellbats. Blood Dragon Lord I think I mentioned, but he is up there being a big boy. And we have 2 Vargulfs. Very nice. On the other side, we have a Skink Oracle. Fuck this unit. I hate this unit. This unit shit. If anybody remembers a video about it, that Skink Oracle shooting at Vargulfs, the things literally go through the Vargulfs. It made me so sad. I couldn't hit anything. I hate that unit. It could die in a hole. It gets overcast in case of the cash. How much value do you have? 0? What? Oh, no, it's him. Okay, hold on. 900 value from 1 cast. Very nice. Spirit Leech on the Salamander Hunting Pack. Other than that, we have a bunch of Soras, some Skinks, the Red Crest Skink ROR. We do have Krokgar yet again. The Umbral Tides. We have 2 Salamander Hunting Packs and an Ark of Sotek. Interesting, interesting. Dr. Jellyfish and Morb, 2 very, very good players, are coming in. And they're saying that this matchup's even, so I'll trust them. Danielle, I will give my puppy some puppy kisses soon. She deserves them. And Loopy's saying they need multiple teams. That is probably true. Alright, Saurus and Dinos plow into zombies. I'm sure the vampire counts are very, very upset that their precious zombies are getting killed. And the Umbral Tide are swinging and missing at the sky as Vargeists are going to land, immediately start taking down the Salamander Hunting Pack, doing a ton of damage there. Some Skink cohorts are here trying to stop it, and the cohort of Sotek is also in the area. But on the backside, it looks like the wraparound has come in. The Umbral Tide getting jumped on by more Vargeists, more Fellbats, and Alfredino is really shutting down the Lizardmen shooting quite early. Blood Dragon Vampire Lord hasn't decided where he wants to land yet, and neither has the Vampiress of Death. Looks like we're going to get a little breath attack onto the Skink Oracle and a charge in from the Vampire of Death. Now, I wonder if this is a bait? No, it's not a bait. He's just going straight in. Krokgar, Hand of the Gods, the Vampire of Death down, doing a ton of damage to her. But if she can get out of here, she can start using her Immortal Will to heal herself up without Winds of Magic, and that can be a nice, not a bait, not a waste. It's just like If you can survive it, then Krokgar's Hand of the Gods doesn't matter as much, and if you die, then that's bad. Vampire counts are slightly ahead on the balance of power. Skink Oracle is really close to breaking. He has pretty low leadership for a hero unit, especially a monstrous hero unit. If they can get onto him once more, it's pretty easy to break him off the map at this point. Vargeists are actually pretty healthy for this point. If you've played enough Warhammer 2, you realize that Vargeists are made out of paper. They are paper airplanes with teeth, and the fact that they're still healthy at all after fighting anything is goddamn impressive. Now Vargolf and Vargeists are going to get onto the Skink Oracle like I talked about, and he is immediately going to rout while he's healing up. Sure, great, good for you. Doesn't mean you're coming back to this battle alive. And the Vampire counts have really taken an early lead here. Both the Salamander hunting packs are running off, the Skink Oracle is running off, and while Vargolf is getting karate chopped down by Krokgar, I don't know if it is going to matter, as the Vampire counts need to free up some assets to chase down stuff, maybe the Dire Pack, maybe Vargeists, but it does look like the Skink Oracle is just going to get to rally on the far side and come back. Let's see if it can shoot the Vargolf, or will it shoot through it? Shoot it, shoot it, shoot it. Aw, use the fireball. And it actually hit its shot. What is this bullshit? I have an entire video about you missing all day and you're gonna hit today? Fuck you, Skink Oracle, I hate you. You're a real piece of shit. If he has enough Winds of Magic for a Purple Sun, I wouldn't hate a Purple Sun through here. It could hit 3 Lizardmen units and not a lot of Vampire count units, but that is an expensive Winds of Magic cost, and I think he's just focusing more on healing up the units he already has, which is an understandable choice. It's the wrong choice, and Alfredino is wrong, but it's an understandable choice. Dire Pack and zombies are crumbling away as the Blood Dragon Lord and Vargolf team up on the Skink Oracle, who is holding surprisingly long. Cold-blooded is the only thing keeping him in this fight right now, and the Vargolf is actually going to start crumbling even faster and might die. Blood Dragon Lord is T-posing instead of helping his Vargolf, and that Vargolf faded. Good job, Blood Dragon Lord, you dumb piece of shit. Nice job fucking that up for everybody. A big blob of Lizardman units is moving around. A Breath Attack or a Purple Sun is going to take care of him. And what is going on with this Cold-Blooded? Did Krokgar cast one after the Skink Oracle used one on itself? It's just constantly Cold-Blooded. Alright, as soon as it wears off, it fucking routes, takes a shot in the back, and it dies. Very cool. The Mage for the Lizardman is dead, plus a big single entity. Meanwhile, that took so long that Krokgar and his cronies have taken out most of the Vampire Count's frontline, and they're now even onto the Necromancer, who's using his Forbidden Rod as he dies, just to get a little bit more Winds of Magic out. Overcast to Gaze and Nagash slams into Krokgar, and remember, there is no more healing for that boy, so that was very, very painful. I think this dragon still has plenty of breath attacks, so they should be able to mop up most of the units, but he takes a bad hand of the gods, and he dives in on Krokgar. He misses the first charge, hits the second one, and he swings again, not taking out Krokgar. That was critical in this game, because I was actually getting a little worried there that if that Blood Dragon Lord died, I don't know how this game was going to go. Now, there is still a mighty host of Lizardmen, but with no Lord, with breath attacks left, with Vargolf regenning, and a Vampire of Death potentially having a Purple Sun, I do think Alfredino is going to take this one. Nice little breath attack there. I don't know if he has enough mana for a Purple Sun at this point, and he might actually just want to save him for zombie summon so he has some infantry and can keep cycle charging. But that got scary for a second. That got real scary for a second. Alright, they're still bestowing with the Arc of Sotek. I didn't even realize he was here, but he's not a great anti-large duelist, and he has to take out a Vargolf, a Vampire of Death, and a Blood Dragon Lord, so I don't think that's going to happen. He can try, though. He's working down this Vampire of Death. He's kicking her ass. Oh my god. Alright, he gets distracted now, so stops beating the absolute piss out of that vampire. And Lizardmen are hanging in there. There's no way they grind this out, right? Right, Hazel? There's no way they grind this out. Come on. Big charge to the Blood Dragon Lord. We have some Terror routing Soros. We have some naturally routing Soros. Fargeists on the far side are going to attack some Soros with clubs that were trying to come back to the fight, and they will instead rout off. And it is down to just the cohort of Sotek and the Bastillodon. And the Bastillodon's going to rout soon. Army losses takes over. And now, can the cohort of Sotek kill everything on the field? Maybe if they get that bug that makes them literally unkillable. And their army ability, not that. Like, sometimes their army ability wears off, and then units that should have died stand back up and keep fighting. I made a video about it. Alright. Hopefully, and I know this isn't going to happen, but hopefully they learn from this and don't release future games as broken messes. That would be nice. Deadly Bunnies, you could say that to a lot of video game companies. Yes, it is even. Dr. Jellyfish says... A lot of people said after Rome 2 launch. Oh yeah, Rome 2 released a little broken, didn't they? This is Warhammer 2. It is. Beating the Tomb Guard box without Graveguard grave weapons is a lot better. Oh. Beating the Temple Guard box. I see. Thrones of Bretonnia, Empire. We'll learn next time. What was wrong with the Thrones of Bretonnia? I wasn't really involved in the Warhammer scene, the Total War scene at that time, but I heard it was pretty bad. Void Lulls is here! It's been a while. Welcome back. It's good to see you. Salamanders got shut down nice and early. The Saurus ground forever, so they did pretty well. The Skink Oracle actually did all right, considering how heavily he was focused. And Krokgar with the 4,300 value Giga Chad move. 4,100 on the Blood Dragon Lord, slightly outdone by his lizard cousin. Necromancer was supportive. Vampire of Death did 1,000 damage value. Dire Pact did great. Vargheists were really well handled. I was shocked how long they lived. And Vargulfs did fine. I have 2 pings. Are they important? No. And no. Okay. Sorry, I'm just checking out some stuff. Right. I have to give Mr. Alfredino his point. I have to update the map. And we're going to game 4. Map. Challenge, stop being an asshole. I think it was Prague. I love how I wrote these down in challenge so I wouldn't forget them, and now I just have to remember them because challenge is being shitty. Yeah, it's Prague. Great. And Alfredino hovers the Vampire Coast. I don't know. I don't know if that's a good idea. Cyrus, you did miss Ice Power. He was here for a bit. Because I didn't know where she was yesterday. She's right here now. I caught on now. I hate you, Basil. I hate you, Basil. Who's your good puppy? Looks like we have Greenskin's Vampire Coast. Vampire Lord, we can rebuild him. We have the technology. Marks of Sotek could counter Graveyard to great weapons. Won 3 games. Rome 2 on launch. It also crashed and bricked your laptop. Did Alfredino already burn through his top 3 factions? I don't think so. He still has, like, Skaven. He still has Bretonnia. I know he played those 2 a decent amount. But Vampire Coast versus Greenskins, I remember this being kind of common, and I remember people being sick of it. But I'm trying to remember what the meta was and why that was so common. Was it just Gunbat spam? Was it Gunbat, double Gunnery White? Gunbat, double Gunnery White. Who is the Lord? It wasn't Noctilus on his Necrofex, was it? I don't think so. But you just spammed that shit, and then the Gunnery Whites could beat Grom the Punch. Hazel, one of these times it's going to land in the trash can. You're going to be a sad puppy. Was busy playing a grumpy shirtless guy with 4 axes. Oh, you're playing Vermintide as Slayer Barden with dual axes? Wait, why would you have dual axes, Cyrus? I'm confused. Wouldn't you play, like, dual axes and a single axe, or dual axes and dual hammers? I never threw it, you dum-dum. Trying to aim the ball so it doesn't land in a trash can between me and her. Raizel is disappointing you today? Raizel is doing his goddamn best. He also hasn't even played Beastman yet. VP gets murdered by Lizardman from what I remember. It used to. I don't remember. I remember trying to play Lizardmen into Vampire Coast a couple times. Fuck! It went in the trash can. Okay, I'll go get it. Anyway, I remember like I was such a bad Lizardman player, dude. You have no idea. I just couldn't wrap my head around it. You could give me the easiest Lizardman matchup, and I will lose it 100% of the time. I don't know why. I was just garbage at Lizardman. But yeah, people were just like spam Saurus into them, and then I did, and I got bombs thrown at me, and double gunner your whites went burr. Fuckers. You get a power bonus for having small weapons. You can't use great weapons to career skill. Yeah, you get that career skill. I get that, but why did you have double dual axes? Why didn't you have dual axes and dual hammers? Was the vile monster that popularized gun bats was Noctilus? Is that Inticity? Yeah, it was Inticity. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Inticity told me in confidence once, he said, "Human boy, I only play this game to ruin it for everybody else." And I said, "I get that, bro. I get that." And he said, "No, you don't understand. I only play this game to ruin it for everybody else. If there is possibility for fun, I am there to destroy it." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that seems a bit intense." She's like, "You don't understand, human boy. I invented Torox. I invented Grom the Punch. I am CA." And that, yeah, it was spooky. Because axes are cool. But why would you have two sets of the same weapon, Cyrus? You gotta get different weapons in Vermintide. Because let me let you in on a tip. Let me let you know a tip. If you have dual axes, and you have dual axes that you can switch out, dual axes, and that's all you have, if a situation ever comes up where you don't need anything that isn't dual axes, you don't have it. And spoiler alert, if there's ever a situation where you need dual axes, having one set of dual axes is enough. I feel like doing this is helping a lot. Ja! Why did I push? Because you like squiggly lines. Raizel's thinking it out. I can peek at the builds. What the fuck? I'm so confused. All right, we're going. This is a thing. What the fuck, Raizel? And he broke the rules. What a cheater. I don't think he cares. When wouldn't you need dual axes? Yeah, dual axes are good. I'm just curious why you need dual axes. Like, when is one of your sets of dual axes like specialized versus one thing and useless versus everything else? And the other one is your general dual axes? I don't know. Also, Raizel brought 4 chariots because he's a cheating cheater, and we should all publicly shame him. But I'll see if Alfredino cares. Alright, I asked Alfredino. Anyway, this boy brought Night Goblin Squig Hoppers. I got it. Keep getting Drake guns in the chest, kind of annoying if I play Dwarf just for Slayer. That is true. 4 is allowed? I don't think... I literally just checked, but now I'm paranoid. I think the fruit rules at the end of Warhammer 2 updated it. And then they kept it. Yeah, it's limit 3. It's limit 3 chariots. Because chariots were getting abused a lot by one particular clan, But they did prove a point that chariots are pretty oppressive to factions that didn't have access to good mass, so the total chariots limit was decreased to 3, and it was a relatively new rule at the very end of the game, so I'm not shocked it happened. And I'm pretty sure Alfredino's going to be fine with it. But yeah, as a good boy tournament host, I will ask and make sure it is fine. But these two are clanmates. They're pretty chill. They've been kind of vibing this whole time. It was RTK? Yeah. They had discovered some pretty good chariot builds, and they were pushing to make sure that chariots were limited. So they're trying to help in their own way. What clan could that be? What clan could it be, Platypus? What clan could it be that noticed something toxic and wanted to make sure that it couldn't be abused? Oh, that's a spooky siren. Alright, while we wait on Alfredino's response, we do have Count Noctilus, we do have Double Gunnery White, we do have 4 gun bats. Deck droppers, deck droppers, deck droppers, handguns, deck droppers, deck droppers. We have 5 gun bats. Ooh. Bunch of zombos with big pointy sticks. We do have 2 mortars. Interesting. I guess they're trying to deal with the greenskin archers if it's archer spam. And we have 1 bomber mob. It wasn't RTK, it was just Smalls. I remember Houseplant and Bob Tresh also preaching the Church of the Chariot Blob. Alright, for Raizel's build, we have Night Goblin Squig Hoppers, we have Durkit Squig Hoppers, we have Night Goblin Squig Hoppers. 3 Skirmish Cav, one of which is Morgan's Mangy Marauders. For the armor piercing, we have the Rusty Errors for the armor shredding. We have the Warlord's Boys and the 8-peak Loonies. Night Goblins, Night Goblins, Night Goblins, Night Goblins. So it is a full Night Goblin, Squig Hopper, Vanguard Rush with a shitload of chariots. Ground the Punch and an Orc Shaman as well. The best way to draw attention towards the problem is to abuse it? Yeah. We had disagreements over how it was handled, but I was never in question of their objectives. Their objectives was to point out how annoying the Chariot Blob could be and that it should probably be limited. RTK stands for Rat Kill Team? Nah, dude. Nah, dude, I beat everyone in RTK all day. Still do. I've never lost to an RTK player ever. That's a fact. Not a fact. For anybody not paying attention to sarcasm, that is not a fact. Alright, we even have some nasty skulkers in the back. I missed them. They're so skulky they even got away from my omnipotent vision. And Hazel is very rambunctious with the ball right now. Jay Phoenix came up with the Chariot Blob. They came up with the Chariot version of... the Chariot version of the Chariot Blob. Yes, brilliant. The High Elf version of the Chariot Blob, but... there's a Greenskin Chariot Blob. There was a Beastmen Chariot Blob. There's a lot of Chariot Blobs out there at the end of game 2. Squig Hoppers have gotten into combat with all the little deck boys. They're not having the best day. Count Noctilus is trying to fight off the 8-peak Loons, and it looks like we do get a Scab Scrape cast that will hopefully take care of the 8-peak Loons before they can get their spin off, though I suppose there's not a lot of good units for them to spin into unless they like killing chaff, which, you have to kill it all eventually. Gunbats are trying to snipe out Grom the Punch. Count Noctilus is falling away, but Grom is going to start knifing him in the buns. Knife, 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 knife. And remember, if you want a game 5, you want the Vampire Coast to win this thing. So, let's go Vampire Coast. Gunbats are still trying to snipe out Grom, doing a pretty good job of it, all things considered. He's already down to 1/4 HP, 1/3-ish, somewhere in that region. Both mortars have been completely compromised. Again, they were brought for archers that didn't exist, so, you know, it sucks to suck sometimes. Grom's getting danger low to actually just getting routed off this map right now. And if he gets routed, he is right next to the edge. Oh my god, his leadership's dipping. He's routing! He's routing! Can they chase him off the map? Oh my god! Holy shit! Just all of a sudden, Grom is gone! That's crazy, right, Hazel? She says it is. Alright, no Grom. Meanwhile, the Rusty Errors are teeing off onto Noctilus and destroying our poor boy. He is not having a good time at all. The Orc Shaman is between 2 Gunnery Whites, but it looks like they are having a hard time finishing him off. They're busy doing other things. The Vampire Coast is getting rolled over for the moment on the ground, but can they withstand the storm until the late game, where not having Grom is really going to hurt? And the Greenskin army entirely specializes in killing off all of their chaff, which it does very, very well. They don't have as much stuff to kill the bats, and they don't have as much stuff to kill the big single entities, except for the Rusty Arrows, who are still going absolutely apeshit on Noctilus right now. Oof. There it is. I was going to ask if there was a Scab Scrape for the Rusty Arrows. Rusty Arrows go down to negative 90 leadership for a little bit, and they are routed. I wouldn't hate for a Gunbat to follow them for a little bit or something. It sucks to use your resources that way, I get that, but like these Rusty Arrows are such a big problem for Noctilus. I wouldn't hate for them just to be kept out of the game altogether. Durkit Squighoppers are in here, along with other Night Goblin Squighoppers. They're really trying to tear through the Gunnery Whites, but the Gunnery Whites' high armor and melee prowess is helping them start to push through. A lot of Greenskins are routing, and even the Orc Shaman starts to rout. Gunbats are still running around doing their very best. And a big catch in the back here for the Vampire Coast, taking out 2 Skirmish Cav, both of which had plenty of ammunition left. Now the Vampire Coast is in ascension. They are far ahead on the balance of power. Almost every single unit is routing on the map, except for literally the Unbreakable one. And I do think Alfredino is going to pull victory from the jaws of defeat there. High Elf Chariot Blob, yeah. The unfortunate thing about High Elves is they were like heavily incentivized to blob. They had so many things about Alariel that was like, if everybody is in a blob, you get this, and you get healing, and you get ITP, and you get magic damage. And if, you know, if you separate from the blob, I can't heal all of you and all these things. And it's like, well, I wonder why they blob. After CA nerfed High Elves 3 times in a row, it was a nice FU respite. Grom has gone the way of Ant Ladder. Mick Rightface changing teams all of a sudden. Long live Ant Ladder to, I guess it's dead. That's pretty funny. Double Scab on Rusty Arrows. Yeah. VPs win. White Line Rule. I think it was fine. I can go look, but I think it was fine. Okay. Well, the person with too many chariots lost, so I don't think that matters at all. And I don't think he deployed too close to the white line. I think when Grom was running around the backfield and his bats chased him out there, it was pretty fine. Because they routed him and then they had to follow him. So their range is like, what is their range? Like 80, 100, something like that. They weren't in range of the white line at all. And then when they routed him, they had to fly over and chase him off the map for a little bit. So I think it was fine. I don't know. If either of the players has an issue, I'll take a look at it. But I'll wait for the players to say they have an issue with something rather than me go in and potentially bring up something that didn't matter. All right, Alfredino says the too many chariots is fine, which he won, so it doesn't matter. But I asked him before the game, so too bad. Last map, best of 5 time. Let's go, Carrick Boofdar. Boop, bim bam, bibbity boop. -2 melee attack on the Mistwalkers. Oh yeah, Loopy, that'll fix everything. Last game, what's the pick system? Pick 3, ban 1? Correct. Matthew Coffin holding out hope for Norska in the last game of the finals. I'm gonna doubt it, mostly because Raizel's mains are either Chaos or Beastman. I think it's Beastman, but I've heard Chaos from some people in the chat. And he hasn't played either of them. So I strongly suspect that Raizel's gonna play either Beastman or Chaos. And Alfredino, I don't know. He can play anything, but I think he'll... The factions I've seen him play very well that haven't been played yet would be Bretonnia, Skaven, and I don't think Alfred's played Wood Elves. Raizel played Wood Elves, but Alfred hasn't. So I'm guessing we're going to have, out of that matchup, maybe Bretonnia versus Beastman, or Wood Elves versus Beastman / Chaos. I think those are the matchups we're looking at. I'm happy to be wrong. Tiebreaker should be a Norska mirror. Maybe. Platty, if you didn't see the last stream of the big tournament and whatnot, Norska went like 4-0 on the day. It was kind of crazy. It's going to be a Nurgle mirror? I don't know if that's possible in Game 2. I'm almost sure it isn't. Anyway, no Norska. Wait, not Norska. No Chaos and no Beastman yet from either side. So I'm pretty sure we're going to see one, if not both of those factions. BRB. The Lizards were played, Mick Rightface. They were played by both sides, actually. Sir, you already had both your Lizardman games out of these 5. You don't get to... Alright. I missed it in a meeting. Thankfully, YouTube has a rewind function, or there's a VOD later, sir. You can go back. I also... Do we tell him? No, okay. No, I was going to put a poll and say, do we tell Mick Rightface? But that's not fair, because if he actually doesn't want to know... If you don't want to know spoilers, then I won't put that upon you. Tomb King's Mirror, Kalita versus Cetra. Raizel's hovering the Skaven. We have 2 Skaven players on a Skaven channel. Wait, does Raizel play Skaven? I didn't think he did. I thought that was Chosen One's thing. Norska Urara, Norska Urara. It looks like we have Wood Elves Skaven. But there's no way. Raizel doesn't... I mean, I'm sure he can. A player of that caliber can probably play any faction, like, physically can click on them and build a build and play them, but it's whether or not you're familiar with it. And I just didn't know Raizel played Skaven, so here we go. Skaven versus Wood Elves. Second worst matchup in the game for the Skaven. Alright. Let's just see how this goes. Didn't Raizel played this earlier? Okay, yeah. Yeah, Zypher, he did. He did. I just noticed that. Make this a best of 7. Oh, I was scared of saying that Raizel had played Skaven earlier versus the Wood Elves because I was worried about giving away his build, but actually he's not taking the same build, so never mind, I don't have to give that away. Yeah. Make this best of 7 in BC Mirror. Very hard to root for him, dirty Skaven rats. Hey! Hey, Krell! We love Skaven on this channel. Come on. Come on! The worst Skaven matchups are the Mighty Tomb Kings, just as all factions rightly tremble before the chariots of Dakar. Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure. How do I tell him that the Tomb Kings matchup is fine? How do I tell him the Tomb Kings was fine? As for the best of 7 stuff, I literally got off of work, drove home as fast as I could, got the stream set up, fed the dog, and hit start. So I can't do a best of 7 because I, 1, have to get lunch, and 2, have to pay attention to this puppy here a little bit more than she has gotten so far. So, yeah. Because Kieran was also asking why this wasn't a best of 7, and it's like, I don't have time. I wasn't even planning on streaming the day today. I have a stream tonight to start our Tiberian Sun run, but yeah, this was just an impromptu thing because of what happened yesterday. Hi, puppy. Hi. Hi. Winner has to win by 2. Let's keep going. Oh, yeah, sure. I see. Ah! Ah! And Cyrus, I choose to ignore you. They're much tastier than gavos on a long journey. Hi, Hazel. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you being silly? Stop it. The blocker goes down for the final time. Goodbye, blocker. I could just delete you outright. We are here. We are here on Carrick Boofdar to decide the fate of my Discord profile picture for like a week or 2. Or 7. Or 8. I don't know. Team Boy's favorite faction is other favorite faction? I infamously love Wood Elves. Hazel, not smart. Not smart. Not smart. Don't play with your ball near the power cord. Because if you turn off the stream, I will have to eat you. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, 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 yum. Hazel, steaks for dinner tonight. Hazel, steaks for dinner tonight. Cook you right up and eat you. And eat you. Yes. Hope the smelly hippies wreck the furries. Ah! Maybe. Ah! Raizel is going with a Rat Ogre and Wolf Rat Rush, plus some Eshin Triads. We have the Ixtras Triads, 2 normal Triads, and 4 Wolf Rats, 4 Rat Ogres. Actually, 6 Wolf Rats. A bunch of Skaven Slaves, we have an Assassin, we have a Gracier of Plague with both Summons and Hazel's being squirrely. Ixtras Triads, I don't like them this matchup. Initially on paper they seemed good, but the problem is that they have physical resistance and 20 armor and 28 melee defense, so most of their defensive stats comes from this physical resistance. Dryads do magic damage, so they actually lose to Dryads in melee combat, which is sad. Alright. Whereas Chaos is the worst Skaven matchup for me? I agree. I'd say Beastman is the 3rd hardest, Wood Elf 2nd, Chaos 1st hardest. Give that Gracie like 15 seconds. He's pretty tanky up on his little bell. In that aspect, we do have Double Way Stalker, whose arrows of Kurnos can do a lot to the Gracier, but their individual arrows should be focused more on the foot characters. We have Drycha in the back as the summoner. It looks like she has Pendulum, Enfeebling Foe, and her Dryad summon. And then it is a shit ton of Glade Riser Spears, Dryads, Glade Riser Spears, Dryads, Eternal Guard, some Wild Riders, just all of it. It's all of it. We have 1 Deepwood Scout, and that's about it. Pretty wide Wood Elf deployment, not a flank either. Goji's here. Hey, Goji. A lot of rat hate in the chat. Fast on Dryads, they don't have to fight there. Oh, it's true. I was just saying that you would maybe think that Dryads would be good except for that little physical resist problem. So I stopped taking them because there's not a lot of cav armor to pierce. They only have 40 armor, so the armor sundering isn't that effective. And then they lose in melee to the Dryads. And I think they do okay against Eternal Guard, but not great. So you're paying $750 or more for a pretty unit, in my opinion, in this matchup. Triads do have matchups that are useful, and it's just, matchups with armor. Don't Poisonwind Mortars melt Chaos's slow infantry? Yeah, it's not the infantry you're worried about. It's the Forsaken, the Chaos spawn, because the Forsaken are pretty fast. Wolf Rats are going to catch up to a Way Stalker. And they immediately peel off as a Glade Rider Spirit is going to get a rear charge on him. It looks like they're going to hit a model or 2. That was interesting. Going to hit a model or 2, but not really get a really effective charge in. And then Rat Ogres and Skaven Slave Spears and Ixtras Triads are all just surrounding this poor little great Glade Rider. Actually does find a way out. Finds a way into the backfield. Alright, good for that Glade Rider. Meanwhile, Wild Riders charge straight into Rat Ogres. Rat Ogres without any infantry support are getting completely slaughtered by the Wild Riders, and that is a lost unit of Rat Ogres. Wild Riders otherwise are fighting Skaven Slave Spears, more Rat Ogres, and they are currently running away from Wolf Raids. Gracier's off in Nowheresville, just trying to stay safe, trying to stay alive. He's not really afraid of the Glade Riders with Spears. He could beat them in melee combat if he wanted to, honestly. Wild Riders take another charge onto Rat Ogres. Not trucking them down nearly as hard as they did last time, but still doing pretty well. Quick little Pendulum cast will take out 2 different Skaven Slave units and leave the Assassin all alone versus Drycha and her throng of supporters. Skaven are ahead on the balance of power, though. Must have been doing some serious work somewhere. I'm kind of confused. It looks like the Wood Elves are doing particularly well, but maybe I'm just wrong. Or the balance of power is wrong. Who knows? Rat Ogres get surrounded by Wild Riders and Dryads and Glade Riders. They are going to rout. And then the Wolf Rats getting a rear charge on them is doing pretty okay for them, but Deepwood Scouts are nearby, able to lend a little bit of fire support as the Wild Riders are actually going to break. And Dryads should just turn and take the fight against the dogs for sure. First of the dreaded 13th has been cast. Looks like it nuked down an entire Eternal Guard unit. Now Wild Riders have charged straight into the Halberds, and they are not having such a good time as the Ixchus Triads are fighting. It looks like between 2 fights they're trying to do battle. Dryads are winning the fight against Ixchus Triads and the other Eshin Triad, but they're also getting worked on by Rat Ogres and Skaven Slaves. So it's a 4v1, and the Dryads are trading even, which is why I love them. They're so great to deal with in this matchup. Pit Fighters of Hell's Deep are going to retreat. A Clan Rat summon comes up to try and support, but balance power is about even with 2 big summons on the field. That does not bode well for Zeskavinos. Waystalkers are trying to fight the Ixchus Triads. Deepwood Scouts can lend some support, either shooting the Rat Ogres or the Ixchus Triads. Both are pretty good targets. This Storm Vermin summon should be going away soon-ish. Keyword there. Glade Riders, wherever they are still alive, it looks like they're fighting with Wolf Rats. It's a big old scrap for the dominance of the field in this. Storm Vermin summon fades away. Balance of power goes slightly into the Wood Elf's favor, and more Rat units are routing. Greyseer takes a nasty shot from the Arrows of Kurnos. 2 different strikes from taking him down to about half HP. And Drycha is going to finish off the world's bravest Rat Ogre, fighting down to like nearly the last model. Alright, go you go. This Dryad that we saw fighting 4 different units is still here. For anybody who wants to talk more shit about Dryads, they're doing fine. And Triads are trying to find their home. We still have Deepwood Scouts very healthy. Good amount of shots, not a lot, but some. And Ixchus Triads are fighting to the very end against some Wild Riders, but that end is nearing for them, and they are gone. Skaven Slaves will also be gone, and nearby routing friends will make sure the Wolf Rats are taken care of in short order. We are down to pretty much the Greyseer. The Greyseer versus this entire army. He is worth a lot on the balance of power, but he's not a great melee combatant. But a Clan Rat summon will help out. Clan Rat summons are particularly effective in this matchup because of the armor we talked about earlier. Wood Elves don't really have it, so anywhere Clan Rats can fight, they will get value. Good. That was a weird thing to hear. Something about the fairest. I swear I heard an elf voice say, "We are the fairest rat," and I got confused. Wood Elves pull very far ahead as a massive break comes in for the Skaven. Now, 1 Triad unit does manage to stand and fight for just a little bit longer. Drycha's going to charge back into them. Doesn't look like she should do that. She should probably just run away and join her kiting compatriots. There is a couple Triads over here fighting, but Glade Riders with Spears on a rear charge should be able to break them off at last. Maybe. It looks like they mostly wrapped around the Greyseer. Skaven are rallying in the far field, trying to come back, but all their leadership bars are so low to the damage they sustain. I don't know if they're going to be able to stick with it. Now, a big problem for the Wood Elves to be they don't have anything left. They have a quite healthy Drycha, which is good. They have 1 healthy Glade Rider with Spears that's currently getting bodied by the Greyseer plus some Triads, and they have 2 Waystalkers who don't have a lot of ammunition left. Their Deepwood Scout is caught and dealt with, and oh, never mind, they have a full health Dryad. Okay, yeah, they win. That thing can carry this whole game. This whole game! It can kill the Greyseer all by itself. Okay, maybe not that one, but it can kill everything else on the map easily enough, and all the Wood Elves needed was 1 good piece of chaff, which is that right there, that thing. Because without it, their double Waystalkers can shoot the Greyseer, plus Drycha can duel it to death, and they will be just fine. Pew pew go the shots! Pew pew go the shots! Awakening of the Wood and army losses will hit. And I'm betting the Triads didn't get very good value. And I'm betting the Dryads probably did. 550, 580, 500. 790, 400, 480, 600, 97. But that one was full health at the end of the game. Dryads cost 200 gold less. And they outperform Triads in this matchup. Just saying. In the Skaven matchup, Dryads are fucking brutal to deal with. Very tough. 666 on the Gracier. That's probably an omen of some kind. Other than that, Skaven Slaves did fine. Triads honestly did okay. They did okay. Not great, but okay. Wolf Rats largely struggled on value, but some of them did fine. And Rat Ogres got punked by the Wild Riders. Wild Riders, 1400, 500, 750. They also did not have a great time. Gladerizer Spears did excellently. Deepwood Scouts did okay. Dryads did fine, as we saw earlier. Waste Stalkers both got 770 value exactly. And Dreicha got about 900. So good stuff. Good stuff from Raizel and Alfredino, but Alfredino will take it in the end. And it was all scripted. It was all a hoax. Because he went down 0-2 and then he won the whole thing. So it's clearly a big cheat hoax. And I have to watch something. Not rules related, I just want to watch something. It was the Dreicha Dryad summon. I see. It has the same fucking thing. The same sound. Show up infantry, marauders, forsaken, spawn, horsemen, and Zarthoriel. Yeah, Zarthoriel's one of the hardest things to deal with in the Chaos Skaven matchup. Sorry, I got distracted by the damn game. Wild Riders! Raizel said he would pick Norse Sage. Yeah. Alright, everybody's yelling at me. Anyway, there's something I wanted to see for a potential video. I swore this... What happens with this rat? From my angle, it looked like he got, like, trapped inside of a elf model, and it looked weird, but it looks like he's fine. A little ping pong there. There it is! There it is! That horse just ate that wolf rat! That was silly. Okay. I liked it for a second. It's because he keeps getting staggered. But it just looks really strange. So I was watching it from far away and I kept seeing this like rat fuse with the horse and it looked weird. Working as intended. And then the rat ogres just body it. Oh, I'll have to do a video about that. I liked that a lot. Anyway, is that my phone going off? I don't remember. Yes. The smell of hippies is apparently more powerful than the smell of furries. That is one way of categorizing what's happening. Wolf rat at the start with horse. Okay. Save that replay. That's probably it for the stream today. I'm going to check these messages and maybe just make sure that isn't for me. Thanks for the tournament, Human Boy. It was fun. Thank you. And thanks for playing the finals out. Bop. And then what does Alfredino want? Thanks for the opportunity. Here's the picture. Thanks for playing and... Dude. Alright. Alfredino sent me my picture. I will put that on in just a second. Matt's upset no one picked Norska, and that is understandable. Good eyes, great catch. Yeah, it looks like he gets eaten, and it's spooky. Alright. Everybody, get out of here. Shoo, I'm done with you. If you want more content, not Warhammer related though, I am starting my Tiberian Sun Nod campaign tonight at probably 7. I think that's what the schedule thing says. Probably 7. We've been doing that. It's fun. Viewership's pretty low on those because they're extremely niche, but I enjoy them, so I'm doing them anyway. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. I'll see you around.